Well, last night, the Prime Minister announced that Freedom Day will not be going ahead on the 21st of June. Instead, the country will remain in step 3 of the government's roadmap until Monday, the 19th of July.
But while the government says this new pushback is to save lives, some people are saying it's costing livelihoods. And we're joined now by Dreamboys dancers Zac Smith, Connor Stringer and Darrell, who say this deferral of Freedom Day will be catastrophic for their business. And good morning to all of you. Thanks for joining us today. Zac, you're here on the sofa. So you had everything in place. You were good to go. Freedom Day, you've been waiting, some of you, 2 years to get back into performing.
Yes.
And then you heard the news, so that must have really hit you hard.
It was just another blow, a very heavy blow. You know, there's a lot of preparation that goes into getting the show back up and running. And, you know, we were really trying to push to be one of the first theatre touring shows that gets back into entertaining. You know, give people a bit of that escapism that we love to do and get back on stage and get our livelihoods going again, you know? So, yeah, with all the planning that goes into it and all the money and the rehearsals and everything behind the scenes that happens, it's just another massive blow to the business and to the whole of the entertainment industry.
Well, you haven't worked for 2 years.
Yeah, we finished our 2019 tour in November. We started rehearsals in 2020 in February. We had 1 month of rehearsals, and it was actually on my birthday where we got sent home from work just a week out from finishing and starting our next tour, where we stopped work because the first lockdown happened, and since then we've not done a single show.
So what does that do to you as a person? Like, how are you coping with that?
I coped really badly at first, and I know some of the other boys in other ways have really suffered. Myself mentally, I had a huge loss of identity. You know, performing is what I do. It's not a hobby, it's not a part-time job, it's who I am. And I trained professionally in musical theatre first.
Yeah.
You know, I dedicated my whole life to my craft, and as did the other boys. And I think what's really sad is some of us have had to sell their cars, move back in with parents, can't afford to feed their families. Yeah. Some of us have kids, you know?
Yeah. And Connor, thanks for joining us today. So how did you feel when you heard that news yesterday, and how fair do you think it is?
Well, I think it's extremely unfair. I mean, we're all like really itching to get back to work. I know myself, when I first heard the lockdown news, I was working for Cirque du Soleil in LA, and that stripped me and sent me straight back home from America to England. And, you know, and I think for all of us, there's been over, like at the Dreamboys, there's been over 800 nightclub and theatre shows that have actually been shut down and not being able to work at all. So it's a really devastating blow, and we're all itching to get back onto the stage, to be a bit flirty, to be a bit naughty, and, you know, give everyone a bit of life back.
Bit of life back. Now, the nature of the show is that it's quite hard to sort of socially distance. I mean, there is sort of human contact in this show. It's part of it. You get people up on stage with you. There's dancing, you know, there's sort of ab touching that's going on. Could you do a socially distanced version? Would it be the same?
It would be the same, and it wouldn't be the same. But you know what? We're all extremely extremely good at our craft, and we've been doing this for a long time. And there's parts of the show that we'll be able to put together. And you know, it's not just a show. It's a story. It's something that everyone can come and watch and have one fantastic night each and individual as a person. You know.
And Jordan, you're the creative director, and you say that this is very scary. Hearing that news last night actually made you feel sick, and it's taken you back to a place that you don't want to go.
Very much so. Very much so. I think a lot of performers, especially of my generation, older generation, that have been in the industry for a very long time. We've trained, we've done our time, we've honed our craft. We've struggled. Do you know what I mean? We've sweat, blood, tears, all of that. We've done it for years and years, and we almost have to start back at the beginning. That's what the government's saying. Like without sounding horrible, but the whole marketing ploy of, as a performer, you don't know, you could have been an electrician, or you could have been a plumber. That could have been your dream. Is very disrespectful, as some of us have come from a very hard place. And as Zac said, we have families now. We've done our time, we've honed our craft, and then one day it was just taken from us, and it's continuously being taken from us. It will only last so long with us, before it will be detrimental to our life, and there will be no turning back with no future
but
and no
the thing
career.
is that when we look at this, and you look, and I said most of us watched that press conference yesterday, that you look at the numbers, you look at the figures, you look at the science. I mean, there are always two sides to every argument. You do this now, it's 4 weeks. Hopefully, it might even be 2. There was that little carrot dropped in there that it could be 2 weeks. That to protect everybody, can we hold out? Can you guys hold out for another month?
Like, we will always hold out. We will try our best. We will always have love for our artistry, love for our job, and love for our fans and audience, and to bring happiness to everyone, because you've got to think that everyone collectively going through this needs a release. They need to smile. They need some energy and happiness. And we aim to bring that to those, but we can only hold out so far. Like an extra 2 weeks or an extra month off the back of a year is devastating. It's crazy. So it might be an extra little bit, but then it goes on to a year and a half. It goes on to 2 years.
I understand.
Do you know what?
Zac, you watch, the sport that's on at the moment, the football. You see, the arenas are not packed full of people, but there's still an awful lot of sporting fans there. Wimbledon, I know, is coming back. A lot of people say, well, these are outside events. It's a bit different from being in a theatre. However, it is still an industry that is, getting back to some sort of normality. Your industry seems to be the last to be unlocked, which must be quite hard for you.
Yeah, it does very much feel like we're forgotten about. And it's not like we wouldn't be happy taking these precautions that are being put in place elsewhere. Absolutely. All we want to do is get back to our livelihood, earn money, and do the thing that we've done our whole lives.
Yeah.
It adds insult to injury as well when you see things like pubs being packed out because of the Euros, for example.
Yeah.
You can't, social distancing, yes, absolutely, but people are still going out and having a drink and having a really good time in close environments. As you said, Wimbledon and things, they are going to be packed out. Why can't we take the same precautions and get back to us doing our jobs?
Well, he said that that July the 19th was the terminal date. Let's hope that you guys can reschedule once again, get your press night organised once again, and get back out on the road and get back to work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hold on a second. I've been in a cage for a year, and I'm sure I won't have any objections if I just let my hair down a little bit.
You feel free.
So, with all due respect, this is what a dream boy is.
There you go.
You certainly didn't let yourself go in lockdown, did you? The rest of us all put on a couple of pounds. Not him. Well done, you.
Thank you very much.
Good luck with the tour.
Funny
You'll be
enough,
back.
because I've worked so hard in lockdown, underneath here, that's what I look like.
Is that what you look like?
Amazing. It's
I don't know.
incredible.
Amazing.
It's like a mirror. Well done, mate. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.